I think that most people who've seen Haikyuu, and even those who don't care all that much for the appeal of writing, can all collectively come together and agree that the series is full of beautiful messages and life lessons, big and small, which we, as individuals, can apply to our lives, have fun doing that, see an improvement, and gain confidence from that. This could be the lesson brought to life by Kisa Shinsuke that there are no true geniuses that exist, and those who work hard properly, routinely, every day are the strongest and will always reap the benefits of their actions in due time. Or the idea presented through Asi's character that fear is no reason to back away and that there are people behind you, supporting you. So stick out your chest, try your hardest, and break through that iron wall, ridding yourself of all worries. And many other profound, beautiful messages shown through characters minor and major like Hinata, Hoshiyumi, and Noshita, and Kenma. But the one lesson, theme, idea, or even concept shown in Haikyuu that I want to shed a bit of light on today by looking at how I saw it represented to characters that moved me, what I took away from the theme in their journeys, and how I relate to its portrayal, is passion. The beauty of passion in Haikyuu. I hope you enjoy. The idea of a passion, something that makes me feel an incredible, strong sense of excitement and enthusiasm, has always stood out to me as a kid, and from a young age, looking back, I think I unconsciously set myself on a journey to find something that I love doing above all else, and when I did find it, I think my younger self would have wanted me to strive to be the best that I can at that activity, and more so, enjoy every single moment doing that activity. Although back then, I'm pretty sure the idea was much more simple than that, and I probably just wanted to have fun doing something. How has that journey been going for me nonetheless, you might ask? Well, I think over the years that I had been persistently searching for a passion, I ended up finding not only one, two, or even three things that are extremely important to me and that I love doing, but instead I was fortunate enough to find multiple passions that mean so much to me. Making these videos, and especially with how currently I've been trying to adopt more of a personal, intimate view with how I present my anime analysis and reviews on this channel, and even overall content with the second channel I'm launching soon. A little bit of an Easter egg there, but I got tired of keeping it a secret. Is something I truly, from my heart of hearts, love doing, and it means so much to me. My passion for YouTube has always been a positive presence in my life, even during burnouts and subsequent moments that made me hate myself for not doing enough work. Just sometimes reflecting and looking back how much I've worked hard for this, the friends I've been able to make, the people I've been able to meet, the lessons I've learned, and everything I've achieved, albeit small in the grand scheme of things, gave me something that I could finally be proud of myself for doing for the longest time, and motivated me to fly even higher, putting in more work and effort. Although I did have previous passions before YouTube, such as working out, martial arts, and sports, I lost them as the years went by, not because of a loss of love, but because of seeing those around me quickly catching up and surpassing me. I stopped wanting to work hard anymore and just live in solitary comfort because, what was it worth if there would always be someone better than me and that somewhere down the line the reality of me losing and all my efforts being for nothing was very much possible, demotivated, and even worse, caused me to slowly lose my discipline and sense of dedication towards the things that I loved. Eventually, like I believe I've mentioned in previous videos, I was just living on autopilot and wasting away my days, not doing things I love, and in actuality, not doing anything at all. But then I started watching anime. Yes, I know it sounds fucking insignificant when at the time my life had fallen apart and I had lost my perspective of what was truly important to me, but watching anime, watching Chinese cartoons about, I don't know, some kid with a big ass dick getting bitches and using magic powers, that really helped me, man. I started wanting to do more than just watch anime, and as time slowly passed by, I worked up the courage to and started this channel because I wanted to talk about anime. But as I continued to make videos, I realized that some aspects of my reviews weren't up to par and that a lot could be improved on. And although this discouraged me so much at first, yeah bro, dude, this just made me so damn depressed. And sometimes it really still does, but the fact that I could do do more with these videos motivated me and gave me a newfound sense of dedication and love towards something. Because it was fun. It was fun experiencing the simple joy of making a YouTube video, and it was fun working hard to improve my videos, making them perfect in my eyes. And before I knew it, I was in love with the idea of just making videos, and this love, this passion, it helped me look introspectively into myself and find what was important to me, and somehow down the line, I found myself wanting to try my old hobbies out again, because they were fun and working hard at them was fulfilling. My passion for YouTube has helped me so much in my life, but there have been times where I thought all the work wasn't worth it, that what's the point of pouring everything into making a video when you don't even know if it'll do well, and that maybe I would just be better off quitting. It's just a channel after all, right? You could have fun not doing something that's so mentally and even physically tasking. Of course not. This YouTube channel is my passion, and I want to keep making videos from the bottom of my heart regardless of the end results, and the one character journey in Haikyuu that helped me come to this realization was that of Tsukishima and how he learned to love volleyball. When Tsukishima is first introduced to us in Season 1 of Haikyuu, to me, he didn't stand out at all, contrary to his 6'2" frame, and always had this aura of distance around him. During practices, he didn't shout enthusiastically like Hinata, Tanaka, and Nishinoya, but he didn't work hard in silence like Yamaguchi, Daichi, or Suga either. He was just there. Volleyball was just a club activity to him, and he didn't care to put in that extra effort. At first, I saw Tsukishima as the silent, stoic character archetype, similar to that of a beginning of the series Hachima no Ureki from Oregairu and Hyoka respectively. But as Karasuno continued to evolve as a team, and as the players evolved as individuals in Season 1, Tsukishima still stayed the same, and we were never really shown anything significant as for how he really feels, except for his feelings towards competing against Hinata and his belief that he was less than him. At the end of Haikyuu Season 1, it seemed to me that Tsukishima was only on the volleyball team because of his height, and it appeared like he just went to volleyball practice and played matches just for the sake of doing something. It was like everything was just a task to him, not something he enjoyed. This attitude of his, of seeing something you'd think he'd consider a passion as a task, really hit home for me and made me not too fond of his character in all honesty. Like I've mentioned earlier in this video, I've found multiple passions in my lifetime so far, and one of them, which was, and still is, very special to me is football. Not football. Not football, you American. Football. Proper football. Also known as soccer. I grew up idolizing tons of professional players, copying their moves in hopes of sharpening my own plays, and then one day hoping to become the star of the team just like my football role models. But as I continued to play football, I started competing with my friends and fellow teammates, but as this started out as just a normal friendly rivalry, it ended up becoming something extremely toxic. As through competing with them, I realized the limits of my own natural talents and technical ability. I was just a little bit faster than the average person with a good amount of stamina and good vision, but I couldn't perform the plays and skills with ease like my friends did. At the time, that didn't stop me though. I vowed to beat them with sheer spirit and hard work alone, and it actually went well. My overall technical ability rose significantly, and my fitness level was incredible. But I just couldn't beat the obstacles I set up to conquer. It seemed like no matter how hard I practiced, I wasn't able to compete with my friends to get picked for the provincial teams and go to nationals like they did, even though I was working, if not harder than them, but just as hard. And because of this toxic cycle of comparing myself to others and not seeing my efforts bear fruits, I began to no longer see football as a passion, but as a task. I stopped being excited for my practices with my local club. I stopped trying to learn new things and improve my skills, but still got mad when I failed, and I stopped giving my all in matches. And then after the season ended for the year, I decided to quit altogether. I know my experience with football may seem very similar to another Haikyuu character. Wink wink, I'm winking at my camera but it's not on. That was awkward forget I said that, who we'll talk about in a moment, but the reason I chose to highlight Tsukishima's journey is because his character showed me what was truly important. I think at the Tokyo training camp, Tsuki was on the verge of quitting altogether. He couldn't understand why everyone gave their all with volleyball even though they'd never actually be number one. Someone who would always be better than them, and with his backstory, we understand where this perspective came from. His pride. Tsukishima was proud of his older brother, and you could almost say he idolized him. He was the reason he started playing volleyball, and he wanted to be just like him. His brother decided to go to Karasuno, a powerhouse school at the time, and once again, this made Tsukishima proud that he had a big brother so good at volleyball. But things changed. His brother came home feeling more anxious and looking stressed, and Tsuki couldn't understand that. He was the ace, wasn't he? Shouldn't everything be easy for him? Tsukishima's brother didn't want him to come to his matches. His reasoning was watching him would make him nervous, but a young Tsukishima chose to ignore that advice, going to see his brother's match, and what he saw was horrifying. His brother, who he had looked up to for so long and saw as the most incredible ace, wasn't even on Karasuno's bench. He was in the cheering squad. What I believe hurt Tsukishima was not the fact that his big brother lied to him, but how much his big brother got hurt by seeing him being so pathetic. I mean, it was just a club, right? Why did it hurt him so much? I think this experience explains Tsukishima's prior outlook on volleyball very well. Because of seeing his brother like that, deep down he was probably afraid and anxious of experiencing what happened to his brother, and out of fear he developed this sense of pride as to not train too hard or do too much. That way it would make losing easier. But as we see in the training camp, it is not all about winning, explained by Bokuto. What really drives him to play volleyball, and for many other people as well with their personal passions, is not the idea of being a champion, but instead, that one moment, that one gratifying, fulfilling, fun moment that makes it all worth it. You don't need to be passionate about something because of a larger grand end goal. Instead, it's alright to just be content with the journey itself, the hard work, the early morning practices, the matches, and the memories made along the way. It's alright to just do it for those moments. Through speaking to Yamaguchi as Tsukishima was close to his breaking point, he realizes that he doesn't need a reason not to want to lose, and after this, tries to improve little by little, talking to Kuro and Bokuto about what motivates them for volleyball, putting more work into his blocking technique, and repairing his relationship with his older brother by training with him. As Tsukishima continuously tries to improve himself day by working hard, that moment Bokuto so proudly spoke about finally comes for him, and his passion for volleyball is truly ignited when Tsukishima blocks one of the top 3 best spikers in the country, the block on Ushiwaka. I think through Tsuki's character and his journey towards finding his own motivation, we can truly learn a lot. What I took away from this character journey was that you don't need to want to work hard at something for a big prize or end goal, even though that can guide you, but instead, it's alright to be guided by the journey and to enjoy the moments big and small that come with it. For Tsukishima, that was all the wonderful, incredible blocks he made, and for me, I think it's writing this video script as I am right now, recording it tomorrow, which is actually right now, which wasn't actually tomorrow, it ended up being 2 weeks later because I'm fucking lazy, and then editing it the next day, hopefully. Creating something gratifying. Or with my other passions, dribbling past 4 defenders and scoring a top corner goal, or hitting a new personal record in the gym. What is that moment for you? This character journey of not being afraid to be seen trying, finding that moment for you, and working hard because it's fun, believe it or not, motivated me to start playing football, to find that moment, experience it again. But, like I mentioned earlier, with football, it almost seemed like I had found the limits to my abilities, and that I probably wasn't going to find that moment with my current skill level. But another character's journey in Haikyuu fights against this idea of being unable to compete with geniuses, and eventually losing somewhere down the line. This last section of the video will cover the character Oikawa Toru and how his journey shows us that believing in yourself is key, and that belief coupled with hard work and the physical and mental strength to persevere through several challenges will take you wherever you wish to go. Have you found the limits of your abilities, even though your technique, body, and mind haven't been perfected? People who are naturally better than you have always been different from you since the day that they were born. No matter how hard you work, how well you strategize, or who your teammates are, you can't change that. You can complain after you've actually done everything you possibly can. Rather than despairing and giving up because you're not a genius, believe that this isn't the limit to your strength and continue on the path straight ahead of you. It may be a harsh road, but this quote sums up the character of Oikawa quite perfectly, and I don't believe that I need to go into any specifics of his journey and analyze it like I did for Tsukishima, but instead I want to go over how I applied what Oikawa learned into my life and just how profound the message behind it is. If you do want a video analyzing Oikawa's character and journey though, I'd suggest you check out a friend of mine, Harsh Review's video on him and his perspective of his character, as it could only be described as brilliant. Link in description. Oikawa Toru is not a genius. Unlike whereas setters like Kageyama and Miya Atsumu are able to pull off otherworldly plays like it's nothing, Oikawa Toru is not capable of that. It takes him thousands of hours of practicing his technique, running tons of miles for his fitness and stamina levels to be up to standard, and countless nights spent analyzing his opponent's previous matches to decipher a way to defeat them. And you'd think that after losing to the same opponents time and time again, it would discourage him greatly, right? And well, it did. There were two paths for Oikawa Toru to take. He could think that this was the limit and give up entirely because he wasn't a genius, or he could believe that he wasn't done yet, that he could do more, improve more, and that in the future he will not lose, as he would make his talent bloom and polish his instinct. The second path was that of which he took, and the one we should take to choose as well. The beauty of the message behind Oikawa's journey is that even if you're average in skill or even subpar, you can still be great no matter what, as long as you keep going, believing that this isn't your limit and believing in yourself, working hard, especially when you don't want to, and even if you don't end up reaching the level you wished for, you'll complain once you get there. All that matters is right now that you're trying and that you'll do your best to not lose again. Only time will tell if you get there or not, but your story hasn't ended, so is there any reason to stop, even though you still have the chance to fly higher? Of course not. What I took away from Oikawa's journey more than anything is to believe and keep going. Believe that this isn't the end and keep working hard to push yourself to even greater limits, because eventually your talent will bloom. So there is no need to compare yourself to others who have fundamentally and genetically always been different from you. Your journey is your own and it will come with its own difficulties, obstacles, and challenges. But it's up to you to keep going, keep believing, and eventually it will all bear fruits. This entire philosophy behind Oikawa's character of believing in yourself and having the self-confidence to keep going is what pushed me to start working hard with football again, believing that my past losses weren't the end of my journey and that I could go on to fly even higher. First, by defeating the opponents in front of me, the me with the defeated mindset. And how would I? How would Oikawa and how would you do that? It's simple, really. It's just one word. Believe! Haikyuu is a series that, although I haven't finished, will always be close to my heart because of the major positive impact it had on me during hard times and lessons I've taken away from it and applied to my life, which truly made a great change. I definitely plan to make even more Haikyuu videos in the future, and I hope with this one, which shall be the first of many more, I was able to share something to you, albeit a bit small, about passion and how I learned to overcome the difficulties that come with it. I thank you for watching, everyone, and I especially thank you for all the continuous support, even with me being inconsistent. I really appreciate the Classroom of the Elite video getting over 10,000 views. It means so much to me, and I actually wrote out hopefully once this comes out I'll be at 1,000 subscribers, but then I procrastinated and now I am at 1,000. Thank you so much for that. It truly means the world to me. I have worked, dude, as a kid I always used to dream about hitting 1,000, and now this just motivates me to work even harder, to fly even harder. Take care, everyone, and remember when in doubt to believe. I'm out. Peace.